Oats, dual-purpose cereals, brassicas, mixed blends, they can all help bridge feed gaps, keep stock moving forward and take pressure off pastures. But like most good things in agriculture, they only work if they're managed properly. And two things matter more than anything else: timing and decision making. So do your numbers before you sow. Fodder crops are an investment, so it's worth doing the sums up front. Seed, fertiliser, herbicides, sowing, diesel, it all adds up. And with the costs where they are, profitability can vary a lot depending on how well the crop establishes and how it's grazed. Running the numbers early helps match stocking rates to feed supply and make sure the crop is actually adding value, not just looking good from the road. Next is don't rush in too early. Early grazing doesn't buy you feed, it steals regrowth. One of the biggest mistakes with fodder crops is grazing it too early. When there's green feed poking through and animals are hungry, it's tempting just to open the gate, but that can cost you a lot of feed later on. For winter cereals like oats and grazing wheat, it pays to wait until plants are well anchored. With brassicas, hold off until they're fully mature when the plant is 20 to 25 centimetres tall, so that you're not damaging that growing point. A really simple rule of thumb is the pull test. So if the plant comes out of the ground instead of breaking off, it's not ready. Grazing too early slows regrowth, reduces total feed, and can compromise grain yields if the crop's going through to harvest. Your next challenge is getting stock onto crop without the drama. Timing is only half the story. How you introduce the stock matters just as much. Happy rumens make productive stock. The rumen takes about 2 weeks to adjust to a big diet change. Shifting stock straight onto lush green feed can quickly lead to animal health issues and production losses. So we should never put hungry stock onto crop. Fill them up with hay first, and if you can, introduce them later in the day so they're less likely to gorge. Feeding roughage every day for the first 2 weeks would also be beneficial. Green crops are high in water and sugar, but low in fibre, and the fibre is what keeps the rumen happy. This is especially important with those brassicas and dual-purpose canola. A rumen functioning in the optimal pH range means fewer animal health issues and better growth rates. Consider palatable buffers and ionophores, particularly if you're supplementing stock with grain while they're on the crop. There are a range of products on the market that will help you manage the acid load in the rumen. But keep minerals in mind too. Cereal crops can be low in calcium, magnesium and high in potassium, which can increase the risk of grass tetany or milk fever, particularly in those late pregnant or lactating stock. A loose mineral lick with calcium, magnesium and salt is an easy insurance policy. You can improve weight gain by up to 30% for stock grazing winter wheat simply by providing them with salt and magnesium. And finally, don't forget vaccinations. A sudden jump in feed quality lifts the risk of pulpy kidney, so make sure your stock has been vaccinated in the last 3 months or boosted at least 2 weeks before they hit the crop. Now you want to be smart with nitrogen. Nitrogen can give fodder crops a real boost, but only when the conditions are right. Applying it onto cold or dry soils with no rain in sight often means you're spending money without getting a response. Nitrogen doesn't work on hope, it works on moisture. The best bang for buck comes when there's soil moisture, rain forecasted in the next day or two, and the crop is actively growing. Often a smaller, well-timed application will outperform heavier applications at the wrong time. And remember, after top dressing, keep stock out until there's been rain and follow-up growth. That usually means around 21 days. So fodder crops can be a fantastic tool for managing winter feed gaps, but the details matter. Do your sums early, wait until the crops are ready, introduce stock carefully, and only spend money when the conditions are right. Timing, transition, and a bit of planning makes all the difference.